Good morning everyone. I am C. Selvapriyadharshini, Assistant Professor, Department of Nutrition and Dietetics, SFR College for Women, Sivagasi. Today we are going to see about the topic called cereals and the structure and the milling process and also the storage. Generally, what is cereals? So, cereals in grain family, the cereals are these seeds, and the seeds which is derived from the word which is known as the seeds, and generally the cereals are the edible portion of the grain, and what are the parts? The main parts are the endosperm and germ and bran. These are the three important parts is present in the cereals. And what are the common crops we generally they say as a cereals, which is a wheat, rice and jowar and ragi and bajra. Next we are going to see about the structure. So, what is the structure of cereals? So, cereals we already said the cereals are the rice, bajra and wheat, everything. So, there is some structural changes present in that each cereals. So, it is based on the endosperm, germ and also the bran. So, generally we see as the endosperm is 83% and its covering part, and the germ is 14 and the bran is 2% respectively. And first one is bran. So, what is bran? Which is the outermost layer in the cereals. So, after that bran layer, the epidermis is present, which is a thin wall layer. So, in bran itself there is many layers are present, like epidermis it's present and the seed coat is present. Many layers are present inside the bran layer. After the bran layer, the hypoderm is present, which is vary in thickness. So, in the innermost layer of the bran, there is the innermost layer. The layer is tear while during the process of ripening. So, after the ripening, the maturation period is happen. So, in that period, there is a hyper-like cell structure is formed, which is known as generally we called as a tube cells. So, after that, the seed coat is present, which is a single layer or it may be a double layer, but it is thin in size, and the inner layer of the testa, which is the wheat, which is having some pigment. So, which is reason for every grain color. So, by this we know that the testa which is responsible for the color of the grain. After the testa layer there should be a hyaline layer, so which is a white jelly like structure is present, and second one is alveolar layer cell layer. So, endosperm which is so in this the endosperm is surrounded by one or more layer, so which is known as the alveolar layer. So, in wheat the alveolar layer is a single layer which is very thin walled cubic cells, and it have the 7% of weight in grains. I mean this layer, the alveolar layers is 7% in weight of the grain. After that the cell which contain the 20% of protein and oil and other fats like minerals. So, in alveolar cells they also contain the tiny grains of phytic acid and with some amount of protein is present. So, next one is endosperm. So, what is endosperm? So, endosperm is also one of the layer. So, endosperm it's have the very amount of cell which is different in size and shape and also different in other composition too. So, in endosperm it's contain the two things. One is the starch and next one is protein. So, the starch which being in the form of spherical granula, which is a single granular or tightly packed granula. After that the protein is present in the matrix form. Though the size and shape of the starch in the endosperm cell is vary from one cereal to another cereals, which means if the cereals like wheat it have some structure, the size and shape of the starch is different from, for example, it is from the rice. So, there should be a difference in the shape and size of the endosperm in cereal. So, from this we know how this shape and size was changes for the starch. And next one is embryo. So, embryo is also known as a germ. So, germ or the embryo which is contain many parts. So, it is separated from the endosperm. So, endosperm from it separated embryo and by the scutellum layer. What is scutellum layer? Which is separating the endosperm and embryo layer, and the function which store the food in endosperm and also transmitting the embryo when the grains is germinate. So, the bran and the scutellum are rich in the protein and fat. The most of the B vitamins of the grains is present in this part, the scutellum. So here you see the structure of the wheat and also the structure of the rice. So in this you can see first one there is endosperm layer is present, I mean the part they first given is endosperm, and second they give the bran layer, and third is germ. So in this you can see the endosperm which contain the cereals layer, you can see the part there, and in bran you can see the layer like a pericarps layer and squitellum layer, every layer is present, and in germ also you see the layer, in germ only the squitellum layer is present, right. So it was mentioned in that picture. So next one is nutritive composition. So based on the cereals, the nutritive composition is vary. First one is the energy. So we generally know that the energy, the cereals are the major source for the energy. So the 70 to 80% of the required amount is we get it from the cereals. In 100 grams of cereals we get the 340 kilocalories of energy, so which meet somehow the three parts of the daily requirement of the requirement which is given for the common normal men and women. So next one is the carbohydrate. So the 80% of dry matter in that cereals is a carbohydrate. So in the carbohydrate we can divide it into two. One is the crude fiber and second one is soluble fiber. So crude fiber which is present in the bran layer in the form of cellulose, the hemicellulose and the pentose, and after that the soluble fiber is present, I mean the soluble carbohydrate. So in soluble carbohydrate which we say as the starch, which is an important part which present in the cereals. So after that soluble fibers is important form of what? Important form of starch which present in that cereals. So small amount of dextrine and also the sugar is present, the simple sugar like glucose, and also the disaccharides like what are the disaccharides? We generally say as a three, one is maltose, lactose and sucrose. Here the sucrose and maltose are present in disaccharide in the form in which where in the cereals. After that the protein, the third one is protein. So protein, which the quantity is varies based on the cereals. So compared to the pulses, the cereals have a less amount of protein, and generally all tissue cells generally present in the protein is present in all tissues of the cereal grains, and the high concentration acquire in, I mean the high concentration of the protein is acquire in embryo and squitellum layer and alveolum layer then compared to other part present in the grain. So the proteins is like the albumin, the globulin and the prolamine. So all these are present, the proportion, but the only thing is the proportion is different. The cereals contain 7 to 11% of protein, and but it's deficient in lysine. And the cereals have the better quality of protein, and also the cereals have a rich amount of methionine. So we all know that the methionine which is responsible for building of what? The protein. And next one is the fat. The fourth one we are going to see about the fat. So what is fat? So the fat is one of the nutrient component. So the fat in wheat and the rice it's present 1 to 2%, and in maize the 3% is present, and the fat is more into the present in more in the germ and bran. And the lipids like a wheat germ, in the wheat germ the lipids, I mean the fat which present in 6 to 11%, and the bran 3 to 5% of fat is present, in endosperm 0.8 to 1.5% is present. So the fat content is more in the maize germs, it's a 35%, and in bran is 1%. And next what? In minerals. So minerals, the above 95% of minerals are present in the form of phosphate and sulfate of potassium, magnesium and calcium. The phosphorus in the form of present in the form of phytine, and phosphorus and calcium in is present in the phytine but is not available for the absorption, and the presence of phytate which present in the grains maybe it's lower the absorption of iron, and the during the process of germination the grains like phytins which reduce due to the enzyme breakdown. So by that the phytin is reduced. So what happened? The phytin is reduced means the absorption of iron is high only, right? So these processes happen during the germination. So it is one of the advantage of the germination is happen in the cereals. After that the rahi, in rahi the calcium is and the iron minerals are present in high amount, and iron is high in the wheat flour more than compared to the maida, and vitamins. So vitamins we say as they present in outer bran layer and refining and polishing, reducing. So during the process of polishing, like polishing the rice, that time what happened, the B vitamins are losses, because we know that there will be a vitamins which is a water soluble, right, water soluble. So that time what happened, the B vitamins are evolved or it's vanished. So during the parboiling also there is a steeping step. So in this step what happened means the grind, during the period from the outer grind, the outer layer, from the outer layers it's present, right, the outer layer the vitamins is present, mainly present. So during the steeping period what happened means from the outer layer it's passed to the inner layer, and which is benefit. So no vitamins losses has happened there, and vitamin C and A are not present in any cereals except maize, and small amount of carotenoids is present in the rice, and rice which have 20% of these vitamins, hull in 88%, and the bran is 2%, and polished rice has 70%. So storage, generally we know that the cereals are stored in a large amount in a bags, gummy bags, or in a airtight container. So the flour is less than, it should be less than 30% of moisture. So during the process of storage to prevent the microbes and some other mold, and 50% above, which means the growth is aqua. So above the 70% of moisture, if the 30% above means it's kind of microbes some growth. Above the 70% what happens, the mold, the bacteria's growth is happen, and such material should be stored in, so all these materials are stored in bulk quantity. So it's keep from all insect and molds and rodents, and the maida and rava should be stored in refrigerator to prevent the infestation, and also in the proper storage is required, and also the proper storage is required, and the infestation, the storage area should be clean. It should not have any kind of insects, rodents like rats. It should not need to present there for the better storage. So the storage is good, and also the shelf life also what is improved. So after that, the milling process, we are going to see about the milling process. So wheat milling process, in this process we can say the 14 steps are comes under the milling. So first step is the product control. So in product control what happen means, the wheat are received from the field of cultivation. After the cultivation they are receiving the product. So during that period of product control, they check about the quality, and they check about the moisture content, they check about some it have any insects or insect identification, something is present in that cereals or not, it's a good quality. So in that first point, the product control, they see all this. And second one is separator. So separator, we ask, the name denotes that the separator which separate the sticks, straws which present in that wheat. So they separate in that process. After that, aspirator. So aspirator, there is what happen means the air flow is passes in that machine, the air flow is passed. So during that time what happened, all the dust particles, the lightweight particles are removed from that wheat. After that, the disc separator. So what happened in disc separator, which divide the grains based upon the size. For example, if the wheat have some broken wheat is present in that batch, what happen means when we put in this disc separator, so all the broken wheat are removed. So only the uniform size wheat are selected and go for the next process. Next process is So in this process, what is scorer? In this process, what happen means it is like a drum-like structure. So in drum-like structure, the wheat product, the wheat materials is passed. So what happen means the wheel is present inside. So all the wheat are rubbed towards the surface. So what happened? The hair-like structure is present in that wheat, and also the husk, and everything is removed from that during this process. And next one is magnetic separator. If any particles like a metal-like particle, some ions or some metal is present in that wheat, all are attracted by this magnetic separator. And after that, the washer storage is there. So during this process what happened, they introduced the water in this time. So introduce water, so all the lightweight particles are come above, and wheat grains are present is below. So after that, the tempering is happened for 8 to 10 hours. So that time what has happened, the grains are having the increasing the moisture level. So during temperation process, we know that the moisture level is increased, and also the grain is softened. So it is good for what? It's good for milling. Easy to mill the grains. It is not that much hard, right? After that, the blending process. So blending process, which the different kind of grades of wheat are introduced and they blend it. After that, it's go to the end solar. In that, what? If there is any dust particles remains, that are removed. After that, grinding bin. In that grinding bin, it's passed to the first breaker. In the first breaker, there should be break in the coarse particle. So coarse particle, and remaining the flour, very minute particles are collected separately, and the coarse are collected separately. After that, it go to the sifter. It's again what happened. Here only they separated. First break, they grind it into the coarse. Second, in sifter, they separated the coarse particle separated, and the flour particle separated. After that, it go to the purifier. After, if they need more uniform size, they need smaller size means, secondly they go to, after that also they go to the second break. After that, they are not satisfied in second break, they are go to the third break until they achieve the desirable form, that powder form, or the what we can say, the powder form, or that correct texture form. After that, what happen is go to the bulk storage. During the storage process, the storage area doesn't need to have any rodents or inside. It should be clean and sanitized properly. After that, we are going to see about the rice. So in rice milling process is what has happened. As we know that it's a two method. One is they using the parboiling, and another process is normal method, is like a polishing they using. So the rice first, they clean the rice. I mean, they clean the paddy. After the cleaning process, it's go to the milling. During that milling, what is happening is the husk, everything's are removed, and after it's go to the polishing. So polishing, there should be 3 ratio of polishing, which you see in the slide. After that, if they go to the parboiling, from the third step, the cleaning, right, from that they go to the parboiling. So here you see the 2 different type of parboiling method. One is conventional processing, and second one is hard soaking processing. So conventional processing is what? They put the paddy in cold water for steeping process for 2 to 3 days. So during this process of steeping, it's steam. During the process of steeping, the moisture are absorbed, and after that the steaming processes happen. The soaking the paddy in the steam for 5 to 10 minutes. After that, they dry in the sun. So it is a conventional method which is used from very early back. But now is hot soaking process. So in this process, the water they soaking the cereals, the paddy, for 70 degrees Celsius for 3 to 4 hours. After that, they drain the water and they steam in the same vessel where they soak the paddy. Here also the soaking time is 5 to 10 minutes. After they taken the paddy, they put in sun dry. So here we see the advantages. What is the advantage of parboiling? So what is the advantage of parboiling and what is the disadvantage of parboiling? So we soak the grains paddy in water. So that time what has happened means some gelatination processes happen. So during the milling process or some other process of cleaning, the paddy is not break down. So we reducing the breakage of this wheat, and dehusking is easy. So during the steeping process, all the husks are removed easily and resistant to insect and fungi. So here we used in hot water, so no insect and fungi are going to grow. After that, the losses of nutrients like B vitamin. So during the steeping process, we already said that from the outer cover to the vitamins are travel into inner layer. So the losses of vitamins is less, and unpleasant, and also the softness. During the milling it was very soft and easily cracked. So after that, what is the disadvantage? Now we see about all the advantages of parboiling, and now we are going to see about the what's the disadvantage. So in disadvantage, it gives some unpleasant smell, and also the color is not acceptable for some people. So these two characters are comes under the disadvantage. So thank you for watching this video. Hope we see you in next topic.